Hi, my special heart-powered entrepreneurs and speakers and change makers. Yes, it's Thursday, 2 p.m. in Europe. I know for some of you it's in the morning, for some of you it's in the afternoon, for some of you it's in the evening. So it's great that you're checking in with us every Thursday around this time. I'm here to inspire you and give you concrete hints and tips on how you can step up in a greater way, how you get more visible, how you attract clients in an easier way, how you really become the thought leader and the outstanding expert and change maker that you really are. How do thought leaders think and act, and how do they show up? And we said that thought leaders are courageous. And the word courageous we are now taking apart letter by letter. And we have already covered quite a few letters. We spoke about we spoke about how important it is to be really clear on your ideal clients, your ideal audience, your best products and everything else, so that you know why you want to be more visible. You want to know, who you want to attract and gain clarity on that. That's what we covered in the first week. And then we spoke about how are you original? How do you make sure that you're not a copycat and that you're so original that no one can copy you? That is what we covered already as well. And then we spoke about how do you become unapologetically yourself? How do you become more bold? How do you show up in a greater way? And, and then the R stood for how do you show up more regularly? How do you make sure you're not just posting something and then maybe for a couple of weeks no one sees anything from you? But we spoke about how do you become more regular? You show up on a consistent basis so people know when you show up, they know when to expect something new from you to inspire them, and again, that way you build a more loyal tribe of fans and followers faster, right? And then we spoke about the A. Last time we spoke about how do you become more authentic? How do you show up being yourself? How do you become more unique? And how do you turn your words into gold? So this is how far we've come already. If you miss any one of those and you think like, that is a specific one that I'm really still interested to learn more about, just scroll down or go into our media section and check and scan through the videos that we shared here in your HeartPowered Global Nation. And just, the videos are all available to you to still check in, catch up with us, okay? Today, we're gonna bring it again to a different level. We take the next step together. We're gonna talk about the G, and the G stands for how can you be more generous? How can you be more generous sharing your wisdom and your knowledge? How can you show up being more generous? And, and you might wonder, why do I need to be generous? I know what I need and want, but we will talk about today, why is it so important to be generous? We'll also talk about what generosity really means. We talk about how you can become more generous. We'll talk about what happens when you are more generous. And we'll also talk about what generosity is not. So the overarching theme that we're covering today is how do you turn your generosity into prosperity as the expert, as the speaker, as the entrepreneur that you are. And again, if you're here with us, just give me a quick hello, because I love to feel you. I love to have a sense that you're here with us. So just give me a quick hi, or just put a like, or a love in there. Again, I want to feel your love, right? So that I know you're there, okay? And I see quite a few people. Hey, Brand, it's great to have you. Greetings to Namibia. It's great to have you with us. And Anna and Erica and everyone else that's with us today, welcome, welcome, welcome. So how can you become more generous? Okay, let's talk first about why is it so important to be generous? Why is it so important to show up in a greater way? So the thing is, what I realized, if you think about it, outstanding thought leaders, you see them everywhere. You see them on all kinds of platforms. They're omnipresent, and they're always, no matter where you look, they always have this extra little hint and tip for you. They have this extra motivational message for you. And they don't seem to run out of information, inspiration to share ever, right? I mean, they show up and they're there again and again and again. They're kind of omnipresent on different platforms, with a lot of them, with different messages, or it feels like it's a different message every time, right? And, again, when they do it, again, people will keep an eye out for them. They will connect with them in a greater way, right? If you're generous, people will constantly check in. They will constantly, again and again, check out your LinkedIn page, your Facebook page, your website. They will be waiting for your newsletters. They will keep an eye out on what is coming next from you, because they know that whenever you share something, you're generous. You share something that is valuable to them. You share some great hints and tips. You share your own stories. You share your own experiences that they can take in, and it helps them to really step up with their life and their business as well. So again, the more generous you are, right? People connect with you. They keep an eye out for you. They follow you, and also eventually, as they say, right, it takes somewhere between 7 and 50 touch points and connection points before someone is really ready to talk to you, and eventually is ready to make a decision to really give a wholehearted yes to working with you. So again, you want to show up again and again and again and be generous with what you share, so people connect with you in a greater way. So, so if you, again, the question is, a lot of people ask me, so what does it mean to be generous, Monique? And, people are afraid. They say, hey, if I speak and someone is recording that video and they put it on YouTube, no one would want to invite me anymore as a speaker then, right? Because if my knowledge is massively available, why would they book me again, right? And I have to admit that when I started out as a professional speaker, I had the same questions. And again, I got so much advice from speakers to say, make sure that people are not copying you. They're not filming your speeches. They're not putting it out there. They're not making it publicly available, because it's your intellectual property, and you should just kind of shield it and keep it with yourself. And that always felt strange with me. And I'd like to know from you as well, that does it not feel strange to you also to hold back and to say, I don't want my message to go out there in a greater way? Just share with me, what do you think about being generous? Is that something scary? Another question a lot of my clients ask me, they say, Monique, what if I keep sharing and I keep always sharing all my concepts and tools and methods, and then people take it and maybe they use it for themselves, or they once it's out there, people don't hire me anymore to work with me because they already have everything from me. That is another fear a lot of people have. And I can tell you that it's rather the opposite. The more generous you are, the more you help people and give them little hints and tips and suggestions regularly, okay, the more they will appreciate you, know about you, know what you do, know about the value you have. They like you more, they connect with you more, not only from mind to mind, but heart to heart. And, they will eventually want to talk to you and eventually want to work with you too. And, there's another concern. A lot of people that come to me they say, Monique, when I share all that, that is what I have. I don't have anything. What if I run out of sharing things? And I always say, no, there's actually some great tools and methods of how you never run out of something to share. And I give you one today as well on this call, okay? So again, don't be afraid that you might be running out of material, or when it's publicly available, people don't want to work with you anymore, or when it's publicly available, you'll not be booked as a speaker anymore. In contrary, okay? I have been, there's one workshop I've given a lot all over the world. It's called The Art of Pitching, how you convince anyone of anything almost every time. And, I was speaking in Boston in 2016, and they made a really professional video, and they put it up on YouTube. It was really interesting. For a couple of days, my video was standing beside a video of a really established online marketer, Gary Vaynerchuk, which was pretty cool. So I had thousands of people watching that. And still, that didn't have an impact that people wouldn't want to learn from me anymore. In contrary, it got them more intrigued to learn more from me on how to pitch with impact, right? So again, what does generosity mean? What is it? And for me, generosity has a lot to do with giving. So let's take the little word give. I love words and I love letters. So let's take the little word give and take it apart so that you get a better sense of what does it mean to be generous. And the G stands for really just, let's start with the word generosity, right? It starts with you sharing the stories you go through in your life, your experiences, your clients' experiences, the knowledge you hold, the nitty-gritty details of how can people step up. Like, that we help you and everyone around the planet to really show up more, be more visible as the expert that you are, and by using the power of your voice, growing and scaling your business and building a structure, around what you do so that you can really make more money, serve more people, and really be free eventually as a result of it, right? And so, again, there's so much insights and information and experience that I've gathered over the years, and I'm not holding back sharing anything. That is something that my clients always say. They say, Monique, you know what? You're so generously sharing everything you learn, everything you know, you're not holding back. And that is what I invite you to do as well, okay? Before you think about what should I hold back, rather think about what can you give? Be generous, right? Think about, what do I know? What have I done that if I share that with my fans and followers, if I share that with my clients, if I share that with my tribe, what of all my knowledge and wisdom will help them right here, right now? And just share it generously. Don't hold back, right? And then the I really stands for intention. So what do I mean with that? Always ask yourself, like, what is the intention right here, right now? No matter if you are, writing a post or if you're creating a video, always ask yourself, like, what is my intention? Because you don't only want to share information, you really also want to share experience. You want to inspire people. You want to motivate them. You want to guide them to go through a transformation. So ask yourself, what else could I share beside the information that I'm sharing? So, for example, our business program clients, they're not only getting step-by-step guidance on how to grow and scale their business. They're not only getting step-by-step guidance on how to show up on social media in a greater way, how to craft an online course to make money in an automated way. It's not only information we share. What we also share is accountability. We look at the progress they're making. We look at what plans they're making, and how are they taking steps forward. We look at on a regular basis at, are they increasing their income, and if it stagnates for a month or two, we look at what can they do to really make more money again. Okay, so again, ask yourself, what is your intention? Is your intention for them to know more, or is your intention to enable them to use the information you share with them and really do something with it? Learn to apply it, learn to use it, so that when they use it, they get greater results, right? So we are not just sharing information, we are also sharing accountability, we are sharing motivation, right? When someone has a tough time, we shower them with love, right? We also share, offering a tribe, and that is what a lot of clients say, Monique, it's not only the information we appreciate you, it's really also the support of the people around me that go on that journey with us, right? So again, think about, what is your intention when you're sharing something, and how can you weave this extra thing in to make it easier for your audience, for your clients to apply the information and use the information you're sharing, right? So, again, it's be generous with sharing, be clear on your intention and add the other extra thing. And then also it's all about offering value, right? Again, the question is, are you just sharing information because you want to share information? Or are you asking yourself, like, what are people going through right now? is what I share relevant to them in the current situation? Like, for example, right, you see a lot of pictures with people, in offices right now. Well, a lot of people are not in the office right now, right? Or if they are in the office, a lot of them are wearing masks, right? Again, so don't share pictures where you show a situation where, that is not relevant to people. Share something that is relevant to them. Like, we had a conversation with one of our clients yesterday where she said, hey, Monique, what can I share on LinkedIn, right? And again, there's no point, and she actually, she provides sustainable products for, for businesses and their clients and their employees, and to use in their business, that really makes them more aware of the value of using sustainable products. And we had a conversation yesterday about what she could share on LinkedIn. But what she might not want to share right now is posts on, hey, bring the products into your office, right? Because a lot of these big businesses, she's in India, a lot of these big businesses in India are not in the office right now. But again, what these business owners might be interested in is that they might want to send their employees some sustainable products to bring the extra spark into their home right now. A lot of them work from their home right now. To get them to link these products with their brand, to really, remind them of, hey, I'm part of a bigger mission. I'm part of that brand and I'm proud of it, right? Okay. So, again, what you want to do is give value by thinking about, how can I make what I share most relevant to the current situation of the people I want to talk to, like my potential clients. What are they going through right now? Don't just share something because you want to share something. Share something that's relevant to them right now, and that has more value, right? And then in the gift formula, the last letters is the E, and the E stands for exceed. Exceed what you give, right? I mean, there is, there's, a spiritual guide and teacher. His name is Dandapani. He lived in a, in an ashram or in a spiritual place for quite a while, and he's teaching people all over the world to become more aware. And he was also, running a session, and I loved what he said. He said, always ask yourself, how can I do more of what I offer, and how can I offer it in a greater way, right? So again, what I suggest is, when you write your post, when you record your video, when you do something for your clients, when you speak to an audience, keep asking yourself, how can I give them something more in a greater way? So, and I don't know what that could be for you, and I'd really like to see as well on your side, like some of the things you do, so that I can give you some hints. But again, what we do is, for example, the clients we work with, they get a Christmas gift, right? Again, a lot of them are surprised because they've never, when they work with someone, maybe they got a Christmas message, but often they didn't get a gift. So we celebrate with them not only their business successes, but also when something happens in their life, right? A lot of our clients, they have babies, or there's always something to celebrate with them. So show that you are there. So keep asking yourself, how can I exceed what I share? How can I put that extra hint in, into my post, into my video, right? And again, just keep in mind these 4 things, like, the gift formula is like, how can I be more generous? How can I, bring something extra in based on the intention I have for them? How can I make things more relevant to offer more value? And how can I give more in a greater way so that I exceed expectations? So that is all about great steps of how to be generous. And again, I promised you to give you a way of how do you never run out of content to share? How do you never run out of something to share? So here's my suggestion, okay? What you can do is you can create something like a client empathy map. That's what we call it, a client empathy map. And what you do is, and I picked it up also from another great online marketer, and his name is Phil. And Phil said, when you create this client empathy map, you ask yourself, what do your clients see and hear and feel and experience that they don't want, right? Like, for example, if you want to be more visible as an expert, maybe you see other people post something regularly and you feel like, oh my God, when they post, they get so much engagement, they post so regularly, and it's always so smart. And that creates a little bit of unease on your side, a little bit of frustration, like I want to also create something in this way. Okay, again, think about, what do they see? Okay, what do your clients see that makes them feel at unease? What are their secret desires? What are their secret frustrations? What do they hear? What is their self-talk in their mind? Where they say, oh, others are better than me, or oh, others are making more money than me, or whatever else. And they say, again, think about, what are the things people see they don't want to see? Okay, and what are the things that they do want to see? They want to see that they're also posting regularly great content and people engage with it, right? Or they hear like, I'm not as good as others with posting, or I'm not making as much money as others. And what do I want to hear? I'm a really good online marketer, right? That's what they want to hear and tell themselves. Right? They want to say, hey, I'm making really good money and I'm really well rewarded by what I do, right? Again, what do they experience? Maybe they experience like they look at their posts and no one is engaging with it. What do they want to experience? They want to see people making comments and appreciating what they are sharing, right? So again, just think about your clients. What do they hear and see and feel and experience that they don't want anymore? And on the other side, what do they hear and see and feel and experience, or the other way around, that they don't experience yet and don't see yet and don't feel yet and don't hear yet, that they want to hear and see and feel? Okay? And guess what? Every single one of these thoughts and these points that you write down, so you have 4 questions, like what do people see and hear and feel and experience that they don't want anymore? That's 4. And what do they want to see and hear and feel and experience that they don't yet, that they want to? So this 8 questions already. If you write down like 5 points under each of these categories, you already have 40 ideas of what to share. And again, then you keep observing what your clients ask you, what they talk about, what they're concerned with, what they're celebrating. And on a regular basis, you keep adding points to this list. Guess what? You'll never run out of ideas of what to share, what to post, and what to help people with, right? Okay, so I hope that is a very valuable suggestions on my side. So just start sharing that, okay, or observing it and writing it down. And then really also, there's one thing I would like to share with you before we round off here today, and that is, what is generosity not, or when can generosity really backfire? And generosity is not that you're overgiving. You're not showering your audience or your clients with too much information, because again, that would backfire, right? If you give them too much, they don't even know what to start with. So give them just one thing and give them a way of how to make it happen, right? Okay, so again, don't overgive, don't give too much, because that will just confuse people. Give people just one step at a time. And I made that mistake in my early years of running my business. I was showering everyone with things they can do to grow and scale their business, and then they didn't get it done. So I was doing them a disservice. I was over generous and I was not really serving them. That's not what generosity is. Okay, so be smart, in line with your intention. What is the next step people want to take, and then give them what they need. Okay, give them a little more to help them make it happen, but don't give them too many steps at the same time. Also, you don't want to give everything away for free. That's also a concern, that a lot of people come to me with. They say, Monique, what if I always share and share and share and everyone gets everything for free and no one wants to work with me anymore? Well, you don't want to give everything away for free, right? You want to be rewarded for what you do, what you have to give. And here's just a rule of thumb a lot of online marketers use. They say, when you share, when you're visible, you share your wisdom and experience, share the what, share the why, and share a little bit of the how. But then the step by step, here's how you make it happen. This is what then people pay for, right? So for example, if it's talking about visibility, I always share with you why it's so important to be visible. And what happens if you hold back and you're not really that visible? and we get your juices flowing, and we get you excited to really step up and get more visible by embracing your why you want to be more visible, right? And then also I talk about what the steps you can take. We talk about what does it take to get more visible, and I share a few hints and tips on how you make it happen. Okay, so you want to do the same with when you post something, or you create videos, or you run your webinars, or you give your speeches. Guide people through the why, get them excited about the why, right? Get them, feel strong about the why. Help them to really understand what needs to be done. Give them a few hints on how to make it happen, and then invite them to work with you, and invite them to invest in themselves to step up with you, so that they can really, make it happen. Okay, so I hope that is a good rule of thumb. I mean, it always helps my clients. I hope it helps you as well. So another, golden nugget for yourself. So share the what, share the why, a little bit of the how, and then make people see what else they can achieve. Okay, so don't just give everything away for free, but still, as you share generously. Keep the give formula in mind. Okay. So, as you know, we are here to inspire and empower you, but we also know that just a few hints on a Thursday afternoon might not be enough for you. You might say, Monique, I really want to jump into this. I really want to now focus on growing my business, making more money, showing up in a greater way, getting more visible. And I really want to package my knowledge and wisdom into concrete products and services that I can make much more money with, and also in an automated way. And I want to build a structure around what I do, so that I have processes in place and systems to make everything faster, because I don't just want to work with 5 or 10 clients anymore. I want to work with 100. I want to work with 1,000 and more, right? If that is you, and you really want to bring everything to a different level, let us know. I mean, as you know, one thing we always offer is for you to just step with us into our tribe, become part of our Business Circle membership, and we're going to share the link underneath, so in the comments, so that you can see what that membership is about, where we share with you, like we have 2 sessions every month. One is a training session where we really do a deep dive with you on how do you, how do you attract more clients, how do you grow your business in a greater way. Like, just this Monday, we had a session on how do you turn your yearly goals that you've set for yourself, hopefully by now, and I hope you've written them out. How do you really craft a plan and a roadmap to make sure that you make it happen? So again, every month we give you our proven processes, tools, steps to really make client attraction easier and to grow your business in a faster way. So if that resonates with you, just check out our Business Circle membership. We'd love to have you. We'd love you to join us. In any case, we love you to show up more, to get more visible, share your wisdom with us and others in a greater way. And, again, there's always every week something that I suggest you do right away after our session together, where you're not just getting inspired, but you really also take action. And today I would suggest just start thinking about, on the next post you plan to write, or on the next video you create, or the next webinar you run. How can you be more generous? How can you give this extra thing, this extra golden nugget, this extra suggestion, right? And, how can you give more in a greater way? And I'd like to know, what are these ideas you have? So please post them underneath in the chat, right? I'd really like to know, what is it? How can you become more generous? Because the more generous you are, the more magnetic you are, the more you connect with your potential clients, the more they love to talk to you and eventually work with you. So this is how you turn your generosity into greater prosperity. Yes, for yourself, yes, for your own business, and also for the people that connect with you, that follow you, that are your fans, that are your clients. Okay, great. So next week again, we will be here for you and with you again on Thursday. And again, if you have any questions, just post them underneath here. We are happy to answer them, right, as we go. Also be with us live, so you can ask your questions with us live in the moment. I'm happy to answer them right here, right now. So if there's anyone that still has any questions right now, please share them with us, and I'm happy to answer them right away. Okay, and I'm just looking at my screen again just to make sure that we are not missing it. And, so again, if there's any open questions, let us know right here, right now, and we're happy to answer them right away. Okay, I'm keeping an eye out on it. And it's great to have you, Jessica, as well. Okay, it's great to know that Anna-Lena is saying many golden nuggets again. So I'm happy that you appreciate what we are sharing with you, and I hope you feel inspired and empowered. And next week, we're going to be back again with another Inspiring Thought Thursday. And next week, we're going to tackle the E, right? So courageous, under the G, after the G comes the E, and the E stands for engagement. And I know this is a challenging one for a lot of you. That is a question a lot of my clients ask me again and again. They say, Monique, I'm posting, I'm showing up regularly. I'm doing my weekly Facebook Live, or I'm posting once a week, 2-3 times a week, and still people don't respond. They don't engage. Okay, or if they engage, I don't get them to talk to me. So again, how do you make sure that you're not just entertaining people, but you're engaging people, and you really get them to connect with you? How do you get them to eventually talk to you, so that eventually some of them also want to work with you? Okay, so that is what we talk about next week. Okay, remember that what you're sharing is not a one-way street. You want to create engagement. You want to turn your monologue into a dialogue. You want to connect with people. You want to build closer relationships. Okay, remember that between someone getting to know you and them to work with you, there could be 7 to 20 or even more connection points needed. So how do you make sure that when you get something out, they're not just taking it in, but they feel called to answer, to comment, to play with you, to dance with you, right? So that's what we're going to talk about next week. How do you increase the engagement as you're showing up? And I look forward to having you back then. And if you watch this episode afterwards, again, in the comments, just let us know that you've watched it. You know the game. Just put replay in and share with us your takeaway. As I said, also, don't just get inspired. Really take concrete action. Play with us. Take on my challenge where I say, hey, share with us what is the thing that you can, you can give more of in a greater way. Share with us what that could be. Share with us your questions. We are here to answer them. And as you know, I'm here to inspire you, to empower you, and to help you in any way I can, so that you really show up in the greatest way possible. People respond to you, they connect with you, they fall in love with you, they work with you. That is my intention. I love you to take your wisdom and package it and build a structure around it so you can grow your business in greater ways. Go ahead, speak up, scale up, and let's impact the world in a greater way together. So I see you latest next week, Thursday. In the meantime, keep doing your magic and be in touch with us in this community. And if you have any questions, or you want to really dive deeper into how can you specifically, grow and scale your visibility, your client attraction, and your business, reach out and we can always arrange a quick conversation. Okay. So remember to be generous. So share with us how you're being more generous this week. We'd love to hear. And again, we'll be in touch, and I'll see you on the next Inspiring Thought Thursday next Thursday. Okay, until then, all the best. Until then, keep doing your magic. Cheers.